The honor, the respect, the intelligence, self-control, perseverance, martial arts. What happened to the martial arts, the foundation of martial arts? Where were all those qualities at? Were those qualities displayed? Where did our sport get branded as entertainment as opposed to athletic abilities and competitiveness? If I was introduced to football in this type of way, I probably wouldn't even watch it anymore. So we're talking about CJI2 in case you hadn't guessed. Do we want people to be introduced to the sport of Jiu-Jitsu, to the sport of grappling as an event like that? We understand that some people may be great entertainers, have funny things to say, but do we need that crammed into one show? Should we just watch those comedic acts on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media? In the past, we've had jiu-jitsu people that's had great opinions, sketchy opinions, controversial opinions, and they keep it on their social media. But when they have an event, it is about the martial art. It is about the athletes. It is about competition. Now, when you tune into things like that, you expect to be updated about information. You expect to be updated about things that are happening in the sport and other people in other types of events. You expect those types of things. But when we get way off topic of people trying to force comedy in the walkout, at the beginning of the walkout, coming out of the bathroom, things that you're doing behind closed doors, do we really need to be exposed to those types of things? Are we specifically looking for entertainment? Are we trying to compete with wrestling or something in that nature? I don't see basketball, I don't see football, I don't see even soccer putting on certain types of skits like that because they need to grab a viewer by comedy. I think grappling, jiu-jitsu, and those things, when you present good matches and they're presented well and you have good announcers, that it's going to be delivered in a quality fashion and people are going to want to tune in. Just like I said before, we understand that some people may be funny in some aspects, that when I make a suggestion to a couple of friends, hey, you should watch this event and see what you think. It's a free event. You get to see some grapplers. But they don't see a whole lot of grappling, don't see a whole lot of submissions. They see more of the juvenile types of behavior that's there, and frankly, they really don't understand it because they've never seen it before. They don't know who some of these people are. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Some of the people being interviewed are having weird reactions with the people that are doing the interview. And I believe you know which interviewer I'm talking about. I'm familiar with them. Some of you guys may not be familiar with them if you hadn't followed jiu-jitsu, or maybe you didn't follow Mastering the System back in the day and you just have no clue who people are. Maybe you've watched a few podcasts and you have a clue who they are. But really, what type of event did you think it was? CJI2. Maybe you compare CJI1 to CJI2. What do you think about the quality of the event? I'm glad that athletes have the opportunity to get out there and present their skills, make some money. The first night, there wasn't a whole lot of submissions. Second night, there was more submissions because they were given more incentive. And we got to see who went to the finals, who got the payouts. Some people were balanced in the payouts. There was some question that come up about who won the quintet, who actually won, and how the rules played out, and who they paid off. No pun intended. Needless to say, we got to watch some of the higher level grapplers, and people come from overseas and come over here and grapple and see how they compared next to the others. Now, I will say the format of 8 minutes and the quintet format, we've seen some, just, the way I felt, kind of play it safe the first night. A little bit more was on the line. The second night, got to see more submissions. First night, we saw some alleged tapping. Maybe you thought it was tapping. Maybe you didn't think it was tapping. When you go back to Martinez, and I watched that match, and even in the moment, I thought he tapped. On the replay, it looked like a tap from certain angles, maybe you didn't see, or maybe it didn't appear that he tapped. Sometimes we get in those positions to where we reach back, maybe you inadvertently tap. Martinez watched the replay and understood why the referee would think it was a tap. In that case, referee stopped it. The first tap of the night was on a leg lock situation, and I don't believe that one was a tap. The only difference is the ref didn't stop that one. I really don't think it was a tap. I think he switched the hands. He had the flow to the escape. Maybe he was caught, maybe he wasn't. But I didn't feel like he was deep enough in for it to warrant a tap. But who knows? I mean, I'm not in the lock and I didn't feel it. But nonetheless, he didn't tap. The guy let go. If he believed the pressure was there, he could hold on to it. I mean, you're that experienced in jiu-jitsu. Some of the submissions you can hold for a bit and still protect your partner. Like, we're professionals at what we do, so the skill level is there. But, maybe he's just trying to get the win. I don't know what's going through either one of them's mind, but we know that it wasn't counted as a tap. I don't feel like the first one was a tap. I feel like the second one, was a tap in the moment because, when I was watching, I thought it was a tap and I was amazed. Second night, I enjoyed watching the subs. I enjoyed watching the smaller people attack the larger people and have success in some of the positions. Even though they didn't get the sub, they were really putting it on, and you could tell they were chasing the win and they were going after that $1 million. Couple of the matches, Giancarlo, the transitions and capturing both legs and flowing straight into the armbar, just the positional dominance there was very impressive. I mean, I loved it. I was cheesing in the moment. Got me off my couch and I was cheering. Another aspect, Cal Beam, and he got his leg lock. It was great transitions and, showed proficiency in jiu-jitsu, and those are the things that you like to see. And even in the finals match with Nicky Rod, after he got the body lock and went to the takedown, got the pass and got to a dominant position and remained dominant there, he took all the space away and remained north-south, remained side control, chasing subs. Did he risk enough? I don't think so, but if he got a submission, the results may have been the same, but I feel like they knew they were behind and they were trying to play catch up, and he knew a submission is how they can balance things out, because submissions will be dominant since nobody had gotten a submission before. Really good moment. He turned up the heat and showed some athletic ability, some proficiency at jiu-jitsu, some dominance over your opponent. Those are the things that I like to see out of an event. When you're coming off this high of the event and you watch a match and you go down here to like almost sometimes mindless comedy, it throws off the pace of the whole show, and those parts I really didn't enjoy. There are some people out there that really enjoy the drama and all the extra festivities that are surrounded by that. I tend to focus more on the matches, the fights, the techniques, who's doing what, who's doing that, really analyzing the jiu-jitsu into what the announcers are saying. The announcers of the show were on point in comparison and calling out details of all the matches. So that's what I'm attracted to a lot, is the expression of all the athletes and the coaches and their approaches and things like that. It's an art form to me, so those are the things that I tend to have a lot more focus on besides the other festivities and things. I was asked a question about the females and why there weren't more females in the matches. I've seen some posts online talking about there wasn't enough money, but we saw the $50K bonuses, we saw the extra $1 million. Could they get more females involved? I've tried to throw events before where there's been lack of female participation, because when it comes to some of the bigger events, sometimes you just don't have enough to fill that. But I enjoyed the female tournament. Only have 4 competitors there. Cravar versus Galval ended in a submission, and that was really fantastic. You had a definitive winner there and not just the judge's decision. So she took home the $100,000. So the question comes up, was the money there? Was it not? Does CJ, give some resolve there? Do we see more females involved the next time? CJI1, we kind of thought there would be more females involved this time. But we'll see how that evolves and how it evolves in some of the other grappling tournaments. Drama of the money, the $1 million payout, the extra million that shows up. What do you guys think about that? Leave something in the comments. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm reading different things across the internet, different comments on several types of posts, and just watching things unfold. Now, I will say that one of the posts I saw was bring in the heavy hitters, bring in Gordon Ryan, Marigali, the rest of their team. Same way with B team. One of the things I'd like to see Gordon participate in is the team type of setting, the quintet, taking on different opponents. How many does he sub? How many stalemate? Is it 8 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Regardless, if it's unlimited time, the strategy has to change. And that's one of the things I like to see. A lot of times his matches are the same amount of time. Maybe they're no time limit, 80cc, a different type of rule set. So there's a couple of variances there, but how does the strategy fare in a quintet? Do you have the standoff? Do you have the guys that go out there and try to wrestle him just not to lose, or do they wrestle him to win? Do they push him hard? Just what do we get to see? Do we get to see more dynamics? Those are the things I'm interested in. Does everybody want to see Jones versus Gordon? Yes. Do people want to see Nicky Rod versus Gordon again? Yes. Do you want to see anybody else versus Gordon? Of course you do. Like, if you don't want to see those matches again, even if those guys lose again, you always want to see it. You always want to see that. If you guys know Gordon, somebody listening, make those matches happen. Somebody make it happen. Throw up another $1 million and see who takes it. Do you go double or nothing? Does each team put up their $1 million and go after it? Hey, I would put it on. I would host it. I would watch it. It would be great to see. Regardless of contracts or anything like that, I think we get them all involved and we have a really good event. I'm the type that I enjoy several different types of rule sets, not just the sub only. I enjoy the points. Sometimes I enjoy the rounds. What strategies the athletes come up with to solve the problems that are in front of them. That's one of the best things that I like about jiu-jitsu. You start somewhere and you looking for a specific outcome, and how do you make that happen? Comment on what you think. Hopefully I added some clips in here. I tried to gather a few throughout the web. Some of my thoughts on CJI2. Will we see a third CJI? I think we will. I think we should. Regardless of all the antics and things like that, it's still grappling. It's still grappling at the end of the day, but we could trim off the fat and make it more like a sports telecast. When I tune in, I enjoy watching things about grappling, not so much as the drama and extra curricular activity. If you want to watch comedy, could be funny somewhere else, but in the middle of grappling kind of throws me off. But those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Make a video, put a response up, or just leave me a comment. We're leaving 2025 pretty soon. So I'll see you in 2026, Ultimate Expression. Yeah, I got more videos coming. What am I saying? Catch me in the next video, Ultimate Expression.